I'm Jay Swati, and I am the conductor on the train today. I've been riding since I was about 2 years old. So that was my mom first brought me up here, and that's kind of where I fell in love with trains and got a cab ride one year, and they let me blow the whistle, and it was all over. So
I'm Eric Once. I'm an engineer today, and I'm also the road foreman of engines in charge of training and certifying the new engineers and firemen.
So how long have you been doing this? And this is all volunteer, isn't it?
Correct. Yeah, this is my 34th year. Yeah. Well, my grandfather was an engineer, so it's always been in my blood. So, opportunity to learn it and do it. We have about 20, maybe 30 volunteers that actually operate the train and do work up here. The total membership is about 400. Like the couple that are up in the locomotive right now, they got the bug real bad last year.
As you'll notice, now you're getting steam with virtually no water coming out of those drains. John Donnelly, Woodburn, Oregon.
Loretta Donnelly, Woodburn, Oregon. So we came over for his birthday, spent a week, rode the train, rode in the cab, and the engineer and the fireman just convinced us it was a great thing to volunteer for and learn how to do. So we're both doing it.
I've wanted to drive a steam locomotive since I was like 4 years old. My grandfather took me for a ride on a steam train, and I was hooked from then on.
So you guys come over here how often?
We pretty much spend at least 2 weeks of each month of the summertime up here.
Started building out of Baker City in 1890, built up to the Sumpter Valley, and it was built originally to haul logs, primarily to haul logs, but it also did whatever, carried passengers, cattle, supplies, up to the towns here. It basically provided the transportation between here and Prairie City before there were roads. It was still stagecoach and wagons before then. So it actually opened up the area. The cattlemen could get their cattle to market a lot quicker by connecting to the Union Pacific Railroad in Baker City. So it basically opened up this area of the Oregon to a lot more commerce.
Why is this important to keep this going?
Just history, and keep history alive and keep the equipment from being scrapped.
I'm Paul Consani, and I'm from Portland, Oregon.
So how old are you?
16.
What are you doing out here?
Adjusting the brakes on the A4.
Well, how are you connected to this group?
Just got involved a couple years ago and have enjoyed spending time over here and working on things and running things. Steam is just very interesting, and it's amazing how you can take such simple things and put them all together to make something that does work with just water and fire.
Engine would take about he said like now today $500,000 to be restored, and they'd have to get grants and all that for it. But the one out front used to be just like this one, and I think that's just amazing how much work. He said it took them 4 years to restore it.
So this is just taking you back into a really long journey back into time when this railroad originally ran. This is a very small piece of the railroad, but there's just so much history up here, going through the dredge tailing, seeing the land just completely flipped upside down. And then my personal thing is I love the whistle. I love to hear that whistle go by. Same thing with a Union Pacific train goes by, and I love the click and the clack of the rails going by. And there's a piece about trains, and there's a history about trains and everything. There's just so much about trains that not a lot of people understand, but a lot of people do.